Hello guys and girls, welcome back to the Racing Line for another circuit guide here on iRacing. This is week 10 of season 1 2022 in the D-Class Fixed Touring Car Challenge. Once again with me, driving the Hyundai Elantra NTC. This week's circuit is Donington Park. We're at the national layout and the date and time is set to the 1st of April 2022 at 1:45 in the afternoon to match the official race time sent out on the season 1 PDF. All circuit guides are run with sprint setups, same format as before, breakdown lap followed by a full speed uninterrupted lap followed by an offboard lap, and as usual this is filmed before the week has begun, so it's difficult to compare lap times, but let's see if we can help you guys find some time around this fast and flowing circuit that we've actually already visited during the RLTC Championship Round 2, Round 1 even. If you haven't already seen that, go and check that out. So here we go then on the left hand side, ready for the right hander of turn 1. Our braking zone is the blue cone on the left hand side. We're going to brake in a straight line across the pit lane exit, down into third gear, trail braking in, coasting into the apex, and then start accelerating from the apex point using all the curb on the exit. It's now flat out through this right hander, holding it tight to the right hand side. We're going up through the gears. We're going to reach 5th. And now we're going to go flat out down through this left, turning nice and early to account for the understeer. And our next braking zone, you see this sticky outy bit of dirt. Just as we pass that, our whole car goes over that. We're going to get hard on the brakes, down to third, get it turned in, cut the curve a little bit on the inside, not too much or you'll get a slowdown, and then accelerate through from the apex point. It's flat out all the way through here, holding it tight to the left, over then to the right, back over to the left, flat out again, and then just as this curve ends on the left hand side, we're going to start braking from 5th down into third gear again, braking in a straight line to open up the corner, coast in, and then start accelerating from the apex point using all the curb on the exit. Hold it to the left hand side now for this uphill right hander, a tricky braking zone to spot. Just as the trees come into view over the brow of the hill, that's when we're going to dab the brakes and go from 4th down into third gear, get it turned in, use the curb on the inside as an apex, and then start accelerating flat out all the way through the right hander. You can see we held it tight in the Hyundai all the way round. We're now going to stay on the left hand side, ready for the final chicane onto the final straight off. Braking zone's pretty easy to spot here. It's as the building ends on the left hand side, the big tall part of the building. Hard on the brakes from 5th down into third gear again, holding it in a straight line as late as you can. Turn in, mount the curve on the first apex and flat out all the way through the second apex of the chicane. We exit on the right hand side and then slowly bring it back over to the left, ready for turn 1 again to set up your next lap and across the line for a 1:12.2. Same thing now, full speed uninterrupted, blue cone on the left hand side, hard on the brakes, down to third gear, get it turned in, coast in from the apex point, start accelerating and use all the curb on the exit. You can see there, easily done. Don't touch the grass or it'll suck you right out towards the wall. Now, down this hill, flat out in 5th gear, flat out in this left hander, look for the sticky outy bit of dirt, there it is, hard on the brakes, down to third gear, get it turned in. Don't turn and brake at the same time or you will understeer and struggle to get it turned in, and then accelerate from that apex point flat out all the way through this section. Over to the right, back over to the left, flat out through here as the curb ends, hard on the brakes, down to third gear, get it turned in, coast in, and then from that apex point accelerate round. It's always later on the throttle here in the Hyundai compared to the others. It's going to struggle this week, I think. As we come over the brow of the hill, the trees come into view. That's when we dab our brakes down into third gear, flat out through these double rights, and then hold it to the left hand side. Now our final braking zone, we just need to worry about that building on the left and mounting the curbs in the chicane, a tricky corner to get right. There's the building as it ends, hold on the brakes, 5th down to third, get it turned in, mount the first curve, accelerating all the way through the chicane there. You can see we actually started accelerating before the first bump of the chicane just to keep that power up and across the line for a 1:12.2. As I just said, I think the Hyundais are going to struggle this week, but we'll see what happens. As usual, that is pretty much it from me. I'm going to leave you with this offboard lap. Don't forget to keep those likes and comments coming in and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Like I said at the start, go check out the RLTC if you haven't. We had a round here, our first round here a couple of weeks ago, so it might be worth watching that if you want to see what the racing is going to be like. And of course, if I don't see you on track this week, then I'll see you next week for the next video here on the Racing Line. Peace!